Welcome to Millennium Park in Orleans. Brett Bonesteel alongside to my left, Ron Raymond, for some OSFL action between the Myers Riders and the Cumberland Panthers. And Ron, Cumberland coming into the action today 1-0. And we were speaking a little bit prior to the coin toss here about Cumberland quarterback Mackie Holmes, and you feel he's a special player.
Oh yeah, Mackie Holmes, I was at a quarterback camp about a month ago, and Mackie had probably one of the best mechanics of all the quarterbacks that was there. And for the Myers Rider, Ashton St. Germain, we got two really gunslingers ready to go here today, and we're going to be treating some really good football at this level.
So just taking a look at the U16 standings, and yes, Cumberland, who will kick it off today, entering the action 1-0, and Myers Riders looking for their first W of the campaign. It's going to be tough against a very, very talented and deep Cumberland team, Ron, but we are ready to kick it off, and here we go from Millennium Park. And one bounce and off the hands, and that one's going to travel out of bounds, and Myers will get going right around the 19-20 yard line. And it will be 1st and 10 for them.
Yeah, no, this is a big week here. If anybody who's played or coached in this league, the provincial league, this is where it's Myers week or it's Cumberland week, and this is the big the black and blue game, because everybody knows each other in the city. All the coaches, everybody involved in football shows up to this day here today because it's rivalry game. And this Myers Cumberland game goes back to really a long time, to the late 90s, and it's always fun to play in this game.
And you can almost feel that rivalry in the air. We've got a sizable crowd here at Millennium Park, and we're ready to go here. 1st and 10 for the Myers Riders, and a little shovel pass right up Main Street, and immediately swallowed up as Cumberland, a little bit of a gang tackle there. Maybe a gain of about 1 or 2 yards, and we'll go for 2nd down.
Yeah, I like that little fake jet sweep on the outside, and just a little shovel pass inside, and well played by the defensive line for the Cumberland Panthers, which look pretty big on the D-line, sporting a 40 look here today.
They do look tall and imposing on that defensive line, as we've got 2nd down coming up here for Myers. And they're going to go to the air. Looking there, completed pass and immediately engaged in a big-time hit there from London Perron, who immediately got the tackle going, and a short gain, if any. It's going to be 3rd down, and the punting unit coming onto the field.
Yeah, Ashton along with the quick reception right there and unlike the first game today, Brett, when the players in the bottom age played 4 downs, this junior level plays 3 downs, just like they do in the Canadian Football League. So it's special teams going to play a big part in today's action.
So not much established there from Myers, as they will go 2 and out.
Cumberland sporting their gray look today. This is a new look for Cumberland. I haven't seen these jerseys before.
And back to receive this one was Kyle Frey, although that one is purposely put out of bounds almost to the 55 yard line, and the Cumberland offense will get their first look here this afternoon, Ron. And of course, we're looking at Mackie Holmes here to see what he can do to get started.
Yeah, no, Mackie Holmes, like I said earlier, a product of, he's from the Canada Knights. I believe he lives around the Brockville area. So he does a lot of trekking coming in here to play for Cumberland. But yeah, no, he's a very special quarterback, and we're going to get a first look at him here today at Millennium.
So from Myers' 48 yard line, and they immediately hand it off, and a big time gain there for number 25, Marvin Lazarar, and they ate up a bunch of field there, Ron, and that's a good way to establish your offense.
Well, they always say quarterback's best friend's a good run game, and we saw it right there. And you know what? Marvin with a nice pickup there, running through the right side of the offensive line, and that's behind number 55, 63, and 90 for the Cumberland Panthers.
So Holmes gonna hand it off once again, and some big blocks. A flag is down, and a good tackle there to wrap up the legs, but another significant gain, this time Joshua Alubajo, as he creates the 1st down for Cumberland, and the run game.
Yeah, this one's going to be coming back. Looks like we got a holding here on Cumberland. and it's going to bring up a 1st and 20 for the Panthers.
So just a little bit of a hold there, and they're going to regroup here at 1st and 20. But that run game established early, and we'll see how quickly that sets up play action. Here's Holmes. He's going to throw it for the first time to the sidelines and complete. And to number 14, Liam Saumur, and the first completion of the day for Holmes.
Yeah, and as you can see, Liam Saumur is also a Canada Knight product, so they probably play in the CAFA together at the bottom level, so they got a little bit of chemistry going on, probably through their fall season. And right now, you got a 5-yard pickup for 2nd and 15.
We'll look for that Holmes-Saumur connection throughout the rest of the afternoon. Here's 2nd down. Holmes right up the middle. That one will go incomplete, and it will bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, what I like about that play right there was Jack Kubaki Callender. He shadowed the intended receiver right there, and even though he didn't have his eyes to the line of scrimmage, he did enough to interfere with the receiver and disrupt him so that he didn't get a chance, which now leaves a punting situation.
So Myers set to get the ball back here once again.
Looks like Brendan Farhat is their kicker for Cumberland.
Looks like Jordan Sprague set to return this one. It'll come in. It was touched, and then it's going to be taken and run in for the touchdown. Jet Rose taking advantage, and Cumberland strikes first.
The only thing I'm going to question there, Brett, did he respect the 5-yard level of the halo rule? Because in the Canadian Football League, you got to give 5 yards to your punt returner, and you can see right there. I don't know.
Tough to find on that angle. We might get another look.
Yeah, no, maybe not. But you know what? Whatever it is, special teams in the first in the batting game this afternoon played a huge role. And right off the hop, you can see that the special teams here. And anytime you get a touchdown on special teams, really helps the offense.
So off the mitts, off the bounce, and then taking advantage. Jet Rose scores the touchdown, and
offside Myers.
Got offside Myers on the extra point,
which I'm sure they'll probably decline and just take the point. I don't know if they'll put it on the kickoff. But just like game number 1, Brett, we can see that Cumberland right out of the gate, not looking back.
Bit of a nightmare start for the Myers Riders, as that's one you're going to want to have back, of course. Cumberland more than happy to take advantage.
Offside.
And looks like we will redo it.
Oh, offsetting penalties. We had a procedure and an offside, so we're going to have to do it all over again.
Kick is up and good. And that'll make it 7-0 Cumberland. And that's the start they were looking for, Ron.
Oh, absolutely. Right out of the hop. Especially, and again, anytime you can get special team points, like in a game of football, it just helps the offense out, and it really, gives a little bit of a breather to the offense, and now the offense doesn't have to go on. But again, if you're Myers, you got to regroup. You just got to, okay, it's still early in the game, 8 minutes, 28 seconds, and now you just got to settle down the troops, make sure that you recover this kickoff return, set up a good. The one thing in special teams we always tell our players, try to make at least 10 yards per special teams, which equals a first down, right? So that's always the main goals on special teams, either a punt return or a kickoff return. Try to get 10 yards, and this way it equals like a first down. So we'll see if Myers could get a good return here.
Yeah, I mean, they need a response here after that slight fumble. We'll see what they can do as it is kicked off back to Myers. And this one taken smoothly, little bit of a stutter step as Anderson Alexander took that one about 7-8 yards on the return, and Myers will get back to work on the offense.
What I like what Anderson did there, Brad, is he didn't hesitate. The ball was in the air, he attacked the football, and got some positive yards right there. And now Myers going to start here on the 43-yard line. pistol formation here for Myers. 3 receivers to the right.
Couple in the backfield. As we got 1st and 10, Myers. Delayed handoff and to the near side sideline, and a big crunch there as they forced out of bounds on the run. Evan Kerr with a slight gain.
Yeah, nice run there by Kerr, picking up 4 yards, 4 hard yards. And then you can see Cumberland came in there with a nice tackle, beautiful tackle by the Cumberland Panthers right there, setting up a 2nd and 6.
See if they go back to the run game here. By the way, Ashton St. Germain running the offense here for Myers. As again, he's got a couple in the backfield, a couple out wide as well. St. Germain to the skies, just a little bit too much mustard on it as that one sails out of bounds. It's incomplete.
Yeah, Cumberland came a little bit early in that one. I thought Brendan Farhat was just, his timing was just a bit early, but you know what? The referees didn't think it was, and it was, you know, one thing when you're blitzing like that and you're coming through the A-gaps right between the center, you got to time that blitz perfectly, and Farhat did a great job with that.
So, Cumberland will set to get the ball back here. We will see yet another punt. Myers unable to produce a 1st down. As of yet, that Cumberland defense settling in. This one punted away, and he got a lot of muscle on that one.
Yeah, better one this time.
Right there, that one's mishandled as Myers looking to take advantage. No signal yet, Ron.
I think Cumberland came back with it. Oh,
and
nope.
it's going to be a Myers ball, so right back the other way. Unbelievable.
Because I saw the Cumberland guy come up with it, but the referee must have thought that Myers had it long enough right about there. And then you saw the pile got moved a bit, and the referee is...
It looked like Kyle Frey on that 2nd effort almost was able to recoil the football, but it kind of slipped underneath him, ended up on his backside, and Myers right back onto the offense. Here comes Ashton St. Germain. It's from just outside the 30-yard line, from the 31. St. Germain will look to that far sideline, and it's complete. As they roll towards the end zone, they're going to be stopped up at about the 15-yard line or so. And that was a quality completion there from St. Germain.
You know what? That's a big league throw right there from a young quarterback who saw anytime you throw on the numbers to the far side of the field and you can get that depth over the halfback, that's a big league throw right there by St. Germain.
So Myers gaining some confidence here with the offense after the jumbled kick return, and they're going to hand it off, and bouncing off a couple of tackles, trying to map out a route northward, but he's immediately swallowed up. Is number 23 on the run there, Evan Kerr. Couldn't make much happen. Yeah,
Brendan Farhat came in early, almost had him. Did enough to disrupt him and slow down the pursuit from the defense, and then the Cumberland Panthers defense came in. But you know what? Going back to that fumble on the punt return, just what the doctor ordered for Myers, right? Get a little bit of a change position of field position, and that's what Myers really needed. Now they got 2nd down.
All right, 2nd down and within striking distance, obviously, for a field goal, but they want more than that. To St. Germain, he's going to roll out. Goes to the end zone. It's a jump ball situation. It may have been picked off. No, it pops out at the last second, and it's incomplete.
You know, Brett, one of my biggest things for quarterbacks, especially young quarterbacks, is when you got the ball in the right hash and you got a right-handed quarterback, it's really tough. You can see he's got to flip his hips and then make a direction throw, right? It's not like as if you're going from the left to the right where there's no transitions in the hips. That's a really tough thing to do. You saw he had a guy right in his face. So one thing I would really pay attention if I was Myers, if you're on the right hash, try to avoid rolling your quarterback to the left if you're going to get that heavy pursuit coming from the strong side.
All right, this one coming from the 25-yard line, and they botched the snap. And then immediately tackled. And to the delight of the Cumberland fans, and that's going to fire up the sideline for the Panthers as they avoid giving up any points on the botched snap.
special team mishaps, right? We saw a touchdown go the other way right here. We saw a punt return, fumble recover right over here for Myers to get the ball. And now we saw a bobbled snap. Like, special teams take special players. And if you don't have special players to make these executions, then you're in trouble.
Coaching staffs might be pulling their hair out a little bit, especially those that handle the special teams to start this one, as we see it starting to pile up here in the opening quarter, and that is a very short gain on first down for the Panthers. They try to add on to their lead here.
Yeah, one thing you can't do in practice all week is you can't neglect your special teams, because the way you practice during the week shows up on game day. And, you know, right now, unfortunately for Myers, the special teams are hurting them a bit.
Second down coming up. Mackie Holmes, highly touted prospect. He's going to keep it himself, and a beauty spin move as he avoids one tackle. And there's a little bit of the sample size, Ron, of Mackie Holmes and the prowess that he has from the quarterback position. Wow.
Yeah, you can tell he's an athlete, right? He does a fake. It's supposed to be a zone read. He takes it outside and goes down, and has you know, everybody holds their breath anytime the quarterback runs, right? But, you know, to play that position, you got to be tough, right? The thing about the quarterback position, it's one of the toughest positions to play in sports, because there's so many aspects that you got to be good at and great at.
And it's such a cerebral thing, as you're always computing all the time, as that one just got off before the potential block got in there. And this one's kicked off another one that almost got turned over, and a flag down at the last second. I think the guy's still up on the far side of the field. And finally taken down.
Yeah, special teams adventures today.
Absolutely. We'll see what the result of this is.
All right, most likely.
I want to say a Panther had the ball when the play ended.
Yeah, was that the kicker? I don't think so. 22 for Cumberland.
Comes out of the pile, and then there may have been a fumble at the last part of that.
Yeah, probably no yards. We'll see what our lead referee has to say here today. Roughing, face mask, going up against Cumberland. And
this one's coming back.
Actually, they're just going to move it up 15 yards and be 1st and 10 Myers. So, hey, you know what? There's your good return on Myers, right?
That's it. Need a little bit of help, but here we are in the Cumberland half of the field.
Yeah, just like a good Beatles song. A little help from my friends.
That's it.
In the stripes.
From the 47-yard line, Ashton St. Germain set to get the offense rolling here. For Myers, they're looking to penetrate the scoreboard for the first time this afternoon. St. Germain to the far sideline, and incomplete. Will be second down. So Ron, U16s here. Maybe speak a little bit about what kind of goals these kids have. Obviously, not all of them have goals to get to post-secondary level of football, but some of them must.
Oh yeah, no, when you're at 15, 16 years old, it's really that first level of competition where you see the size difference compared to Bantam. And a lot of these players are getting scouted, and the best thing is you're playing in the provincial league, so a lot of scouts get an early indicator of what you're going to be down the road.
St. Germain with the sweep, and getting run down. Not a lot of room to work with. Swallowed up quickly, and for a loss goes Evan Kerr.
One of my things as an offense coordinator, I'm not a really big fan of the outside runs unless you have some deception, because one of the toughest things to do is get control in blocking the edge of the offensive line, because if you don't contain the defensive end, or if you get a linebacker who's sliding down, as you saw, it gets strung out right to the sidelines.
Would you say deception, kind of like motion before the snap, or things like a misdirection?
Misdirection, something to slow down the linebackers from a fast pursuit.
Already third down. And Myers to punt it away. A lot of leg on that one as well. This one here taken by Frey.
No yards.
And Frey's going to bounce off a couple of tackles and then get wrapped up and thrown down. And we did get a flag coming in late. But we've got 2:10 to go here in the opening quarter. Or sorry, the second quarter.
Or no, it's the first
No,
quarter.
it's the first quarter.
Yeah.
I'm out to lunch right now.
No, you're looking at the timeouts. There's 2 timeouts.
So 2:10 to go, opening quarter, Cumberland up 7-0.
Yeah, and if you're Myers, you know what? You're the road team. You had to travel here from the West End. Not a long travel, not like as if you're going to Toronto or London, but it's still Myers, Cumberland. And you can see they're starting to settle down just a bit, and now we'll see what Cumberland does on offense.
Holmes to take the snap, immediately hand it off, and right up Main Street for a handful of yards, 4 or 5 yards on the gain. And that'll set up second in about 5.
Yeah, nice hard run here from the Cumberland Panthers.
Russell Egbor on the carry.
And picks up a, I think we had a flag on the play here, Brett.
Yeah, Cumberland heading in reverse right now, not the direction they want to be moving.
I always get mixed up with offside and legal procedures. I think the legal procedures in the States, where here in Canada, it's all offsides. Watching too much Sunday football in the afternoons in the fall.
It's like miles and kilometers here.
Yeah. That's funny.
All righty, back to Holmes, and he's going to get the pass out right on the numbers. Complete. This will be a first down. As the completion came there to Jet Rose. A nice one, a nice connection there. Holmes to Rose.
Yeah, even though that was a pickup of about, what, 10 yards? That was like a 30-yard throw to the other. This is what I was talking about. Getting from your hash mark to the numbers, that's got to be on a rope, because if it just hangs out there, that's a pick 6 going the other way.
And Holmes was set up perfectly there, had the foot planted and didn't have to throw across the body. That's where the accuracy came from. There's the handoff, and right up the middle for about 3 yards goes Lazarozar.
Yeah. Looks like another flag here on the play. Looks like a holding on Cumberland. And, you know, looking at the Cumberland first couple of plays here of this drive, I don't know if they've seen something here on the, is that the right side or the left side of the play? That was a counter play right there. Yeah, so they must see something on the left side of Myers that they want to attack, because they ran a lot of plays to Myers' left, so Cumberland's right.
Either be looking to expose a matchup that they like, as this one's going to be handed off, and it's coming to the near side, and there might be a hole here as he got wrapped up just in and around the line of scrimmage. On the carry there was Ashton Chartrand.
Yeah, Ashton Chartrand taking that also. Ashton's also a quarterback for the Cumberland Panthers. So, you know, whenever time Chartrand's on the field, if you're Myers, you also got to be careful, because he's also the backup quarterback here. So, you know, he can sling it too.
That's right, and you could get into some potential flea flicker situations with him onto the field, as he's a multifaceted athlete, and Cumberland's going to take full advantage of him this afternoon. Holmes, again, going to throw it, and he might have his man as it came down. The flag is out. And I'm thinking pass interference here on Myers, potentially.
I'm gonna put on my quarterback coach hat on right here on that throw. I would like to see that throw. I think it hung up there just a little bit too late, because you saw the wide receiver had to slow down. And on a level 3 throw like that, you really want to, you know, let the quarterback run underneath it, and you got to sling that thing. Don't take some pepper off that. Pass interference, Cumberland. Sorry, Myers.
The pass interference, Myers. That'll be a first down for Cumberland. And it's coming into Myers territory as well. Or close to it.
So it's not a spot foul in the OSFL. It's a 15-yard move up the chains, 15 for the, just like they do in college football.
First and 10. Got 15 seconds left here in quarter number 1. Time for one last play. And it's a handoff, and not much happening as the Myers defense converging nicely on LaRosar.
Yeah,
that'll be second down, and it'll be also the start of quarter number 2. You're watching the Ontario Summer Football League, a Rogers Sports exclusive. And let's take a look at some first quarter highlights here, Ron.
Oh, I think they're going to run one more play before they get to the change of possession or change of field.
Clock at 0. Holmes to the far side. It's going to be complete. A little stutter step, bounces off one tackle and then taken down in Myers territory on a nice completion again, finding Jet Rose.
Yeah, another good throw by Mackie Holmes right there. And again, those far from the numbers throw. That's what's really impressive at this level. Like, you got to keep in mind, these are 15, 16-year-old players, and making these big throws to the hash mark, from one hash mark to the numbers, that's pretty impressive.
Absolutely. Mackie Holmes looking good in the first quarter as it has come to an end in Cumberland with a 7-0 lead. And now we're going to take a look at the first quarter highlights. Ron, let's see some of the festivities.
Yeah, so going to kick it off right there. Yeah, that's the special teams touchdown we talked about earlier, right? Special teams has played a huge role here in the first quarter, and you saw a touchdown by Cumberland. And to me, looking at these two teams offensively, I think they can move the ball. Defensively, they've done a nice job. It's 7-0, right? So.
And Jet Rose credited with that touchdown. He's had his fingerprints firmly cemented on this game in the first quarter, and this is a completion, and it's still going, an extended play as the completion came to Dion Moak. His first reception of the afternoon, and a significant gain up the field for Cumberland.
Yeah, just another spot pass to the wide receiver, Zero Moak, and this is where you see the blocking of the Cumberland Panthers, right? Anytime you run some type of screen play or a spot pass, it's how your receivers block for you, where it's really dictate how many yards you're going to get from your yak yards after you catch the ball.
And you can tell there, yeah, absolutely, the yards after catch, well established. The blockers were ready to go there for Cumberland, and you could see as a result what happened.
Yeah, I think we had another penalty on this play because the head referee is moving the ball back. Oh.
It's been a bit of a flag-filled afternoon to start things.
Yeah, just got to polish that off. But you know what? I'm pretty impressive with the quality of football that we're seeing here today.
Absolutely, it's been fun to watch, and the fans here at Millennium Park getting treated to a good opening half of football, and Cumberland just hanging on to that slim and narrow 7-0 advantage. Second down. A short gain there on the run as well by LaRosa.
Yeah, what I liked of what Cumberland did right there is that, and I believe the offense coordinator went under center. You saw that he went under center, and I love when you run the ball under center. It's more of a bang bang play, right? When you're in shotgun and you're running, there's that exchange from the center to the quarterback, so there's a bit of a delay. But the thing I like, when the quarterback gets under center, you can hit the hole quicker because now the running back can go movement right at the snap.
And it is rare to see a quarterback go under center these days, but he's going to do it again, does Mackie Holmes, and a quick sweep towards the far sideline, and wrapped up rather quickly after a gain of about 2 or 3. Russell Agbor on the carry that time.
Yep. Your typical 38 toss right there. That's high school football stuff, but you know what? It works, and I love it because I'm a wing T type of coordinator. I love running the football, and I'm a true believer when you get under center, it's better for the run game because it's harder to pass under center because you got to take it's either good for the play action or you take your drops. But whenever you can get under center like that, because for the running back, all they got to do is they got to run downhill. They don't have to wait for the exchange from the center to the quarterback. And I love seeing the quarterback here going under center.
Chains are coming out to take a closer look at the spot of the ball here. But yes, we saw those early runs from Cumberland, and it can get your defense second guessing themselves, especially those in kind of the second wave, the linebackers and whatnot. They're constantly worried about the run. And you can start to look to play action and get some different looks to the defense.
Absolutely. I guess we'll take a few minutes here to recognize the volunteer head coaches for both sides. You got Ralph Siciliano, who's a Hall of Famer, believe it or not, in the Ontario Summer Football League. Ralph's been doing this a long time. His beautiful wife Rosie, who's the manager. You got the Mike Schmidt, the head coach for the Cumberland Panthers, also the president. Mike does a great job here in the community in the East End. So kudos to those gentlemen for putting on a great program, and we'll get to the coordinator in just a few minutes.
10 minutes left here in the opening half. St. Germain with a quick screen pass, and it's connected, but that Cumberland Panther defense psyched up, jazzed up, and not a lot of room to work with as a quick takedown on the reception there was Justin Hoff.
Yeah, nice spot pass right there. And good job by the Cumberland Panthers, number 18 for the Panthers. That was Dylan Miller came in for the tackle.
That was actually Felix Peltier on the reception, pardon me. We got second down. St. Germain to the running back, and he's swallowed up immediately. Double teamed after maybe gaining about a yard.
And looking at the coordinators now, and you can see the replay right here. Another inside zone run here, and look at that defensive line for the Panthers just smothering the running back. But for the Myers Rider, the offense coordinator is Ryan O'Reilly, defense coordinator Carlo Trunzo, and for the Cumberland Panthers, you got Mike Hendricks, who's going to be in introduction into the Gigi's Hall of Fame this year, or I believe was it last year or this year? I think he's getting in this year. And then Eric Perron, the offense coordinator for Cumberland.
Yeah, pretty amazing for these kids to have such, great football minds available to them as part of their development in football. As Myers will kick this one away. It's taken here by Cumberland, and Fiji Kusa tackled. And Cumberland will go to work again on the offense.
Yeah, no, you know what? Good special teams there for Myers to get down and cover that punt, because the last thing you want to do, like, you can see this is going to be a heavyweight fight today. You got two teams who really don't want to give up much, but the one thing you want to control is the field position, right? You got to win the field position battle. And if you're Myers, you don't want to give Cumberland a short field. You want to, if they're going to go for a touchdown, make sure they go 60, 70, 80 yards. And you don't want them starting off in your territory. So we'll see if this change the possession battle here that we see in the first half in a 7-0 battle.
Well, ball's on the 53-yard line, so on the brink of Myers territory. And Mackie Holmes, see where he wants to go. He's going to throw it on first down. Right over the middle, but just too much on it from Holmes. It's incomplete. That'll set up second and 10.
Looking at Mackie right there, setting his feet, but I'd love to see Mackie step more into his throw. Like, he just let that flutter just a little bit. Like, he didn't have a lot of follow-through on that throw, and you can see why that ball sailed on them a bit, right? And the thing is, anytime you're throwing in the middle of the field between the hashes, it's a tough throw because you got the offensive line in front of you, right? So we always say, throw through the line, not over it.
Mackie here on second down. Here comes the rush. He's going to get swallowed up for the first sack of the day, credited to Myers. And that's a big-time play for the defense. Number 59, Nathaniel Anna, getting himself involved.
Yeah, great play by the Myers Riders right there, getting in there. And I don't know if 59 Anna is a linebacker, got in there on the blitz, and he's defensive line. Yeah, he just beat his man cleanly and got the sack. Hey, sometimes that happens. You get beat on the offensive line, and great play by Myers.
He giving his best Aaron Donald impression out there at Millennium Field. This one is blocked by Myers, and they're going to run and track it down. Nearly a touchdown. They're taken down at the 5, but that's the big-time play that Myers were waiting for.
You know, Brett, this has been the theme of the game in the first half. Special teams take special players, and you can see right away Myers came in there, and they came right through the middle and got the old pause on that punt. We call it the double thump, right? One off the foot, one off the hand, and then you just saw right here, you can see they got the 4-man wall going, and the punter just came in, and I believe it was 58 or 59 who came in there. and just got the paw on that ball. And now Myers, what's happening here? I think there was a penalty on the play, so too many men. I think there was too many men.
Is that going to negate things here, Ron?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
So Cumberland might get the ball back here, and it'll be first down for the Panthers. Or third down, but they're moving up the ball.
Myers not doing themselves any favors there, as that was a potential momentum swing.
Yeah, I believe it was too many men down, too many men for, not too sure. I'll have to brush up on my signals here.
Looks like Myers might want a little bit of a clearer explanation as to what's going on.
Yeah, third down, so we got to redo it again. Now, if you're Cumberland, that's a lucky break.
Absolutely, and a little bit deflating, certainly, for the Myers Riders.
Yeah, it is. It is. But you know what? That's the way football goes sometimes, right? And now, the most important play in football, we always say, is the next play. And now, for Myers, this is the next important play, and it's also the most important play for Cumberland right now to establish a good punt and get back that field position that they want.
All right, a low snap. That one almost got a hand to it as well. This one will bounce down by the 25-yard line, and another flag is down.
Yeah, that'll be the 5-yard version.
Alexander on the punt return. Still locked at 7-0 here. Quarter number 2 with 7:32 remaining. You're watching the OSFL, a Rogers Sports exclusive. Brett Bonesteel and Ron Raymond here from the booth.
Yep, just, you got to pick up that football real quickly, and he did. And by picking it up real quickly, he was able to get 5-yard penalty out of it. So now Myers going to find themselves with the ball here at the 34-yard line.
All right, we'll see what kind of tricks St. Germain and the rest of the offense here for Myers have up their sleeves. With a 7.5 to go here in quarter number 2. And waiting to get onto the scoreboard, St. Germain. That one off the fingertips, unfortunately, of Justin Hoff. And that will go incomplete. The old adage, Ron, if you can touch it, you can catch it, eh?
Yeah, and again, see, steps in that throw. Would like him to keep his 2 hands on the football till separation, and then really you got to zing it in. Anytime you throw them 10 yards or less, I always say to the quarterbacks, pretend you're throwing to first base. That same type of velocity that you throw to first base, anytime you got a 10-yard pass or less, that's the velocity you want on that throw.
Zip it into the numbers as St. Germain will go out to the flats. And a great tackle immediately from the Cumberland Panthers defense. Just waiting to see who exactly it was, personnel-wise.
Yeah, you know what, Brett? Both defenses stepped up here today. That was, I believe, number 9 for Cumberland.
Roger Zane, St. Matthew's High School, Roger Zane.
Yeah, OFSA championship team, OFSA,
Hey,
St. Matthew's.
There we go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, some championship prowess, and you saw it come to fruition there on that play.
Yeah. No, Coach Jeff Coventry at St. Matt's, they won the OFSA this year. Did a great job with the St. Matt's Tigers, and some of his players playing provincial ball. So you can see it really helps when your players do play provincial football.
Have we seen a lot of Ottawa area OFSA champions in football over the years, Ron?
Oh, yeah. The St. Pete's with Coach Jim Mick back in the day when he was at St. Pete's, who's now retired. Happy
Another
retirement,
flag.
Jim.
That one eventually went out wide to the sideline. We got 2 flags in the backfield here.
Yeah, the St. Peter's Knights, they say in the last 20 years, they must have went to about, 5-7 OFSAs. I don't know if they've won 5 or 7, but they've always represented the nation's capital very well.
Awesome, that's the local dynasty. Get another look at that last play, a bit of a broken play.
Yeah, Cumberland getting the ball in nice position here at the 45-yard line. And with 6:03 left, only 7-0 score, but if you're Cumberland, you want to put some drives together here. You know, you can't rely always on your special teams and defense. If you're Cumberland, you want to get the ball moving here and try to get some points on the board.
You got to give a slight amount of credit here, of course, to the Myers defense as well, keeping these Cumberland Panthers in check. There's a bit of a truck-like run there from Who else but number 30, Russell Agbor. Tough guy to take down, that's for sure.
Yeah, counter play here. You can see the pulling guard and tackle. Now Agbar's got to get on the inside hip, but those guards got to turn upfield real quickly, and that just means the defensive line did a good job wrong-arming those counter tackles and guards, and it caused a bit of a delay, which allowed the defense come in and swarm.
Second down. Second down and, I'd say about 6. Holmes back to pass right over the middle, and he's got his man, and he's going to cut to the near side, and into the end zone goes Dion Moak for the touchdown. Cumberland adds to the lead.
Yeah, beautiful pass by Mackie Holmes there. Great protection by the offensive line. And Mackie just stood in there, delivered a strike, and you can see number 9 for Cumberland. Is that Roger Zane? Or what number was that?
Was,
number 0, sorry.
Yeah, Dion Moak with
Dion
the touchdown on that one. As soon as he made the catch, Ron, he kind of planned out his route and utilized his last blocker remaining and took it to the house.
Yeah, I believe that was like some form of crosser route.
Waiting for the extra point here from Cumberland. High snap taken down. That one traveling through. It is good.
Yeah, good job by the pinner there. Number 13, I believe, or was that 3 or 13? That was number 13 for the Cumberland Panthers. Ryan Schmidt to get that ball down. That was a high snap, and Ryan was able to get that ball down so that the field goal kick can get a shot to get a chance to kick it. So good job.
Great adjustment indeed. And a quick kick, and that solidifies the 2-touchdown lead for the Panthers. And now it's about the response from Myers. Their mission, certainly for the rest of the first half with 4:54 to go, Ron, is to get something on the scoreboard.
Yeah, get something positive going. Like even if it's still, we're not even at halftime yet, but get productive on first down. You got to be productive on first down. Get at least 5, 6, 7. So this way you make second and manageable, because not a lot of coordinators have a lot of 2nd and 10 plays, right? So you got to make that first down count and get productive on first down, but find a way to move the chains here. Let's get a good series here for Myers. If you're a Myers fan out there, you want them to get a little bit productive here.
Kicking this one off, Sean Mullen. And taken here by Myers. Right towards the sideline and forced out of bounds was Jordan Sprague, the wide receiver. And Myers will get cooking here on offense. St. Germain. He's had a couple of good chucks so far, Ron, in the opening half, but Myers, the thing with them thus far is the consistency in their offense right now.
Well, they haven't found a run game. That's the problem with Myers. It's been all St. Germain in the passing game, and like I said at the top of the broadcast, a quarterback's best friend is a good run game. Myers got to find a way to establish the run.
I formation in behind St. Germain with a couple of running backs. 3 on the far side. 1 comes in motion. Snap to St. Germain. Fakes, it's play action, and that one thrown to the deck. And St. Germain maybe appealing for something. He's not going to get it looks like, and it's going to be second down.
That's a big league play by St. Germain. That is quarterback awareness. That's QB 101 awareness right there. It was supposed to be a fake inside zone, and it was supposed to be a screen play, and the defense snuffed it out, and he did exactly what he's supposed to do. Make sure you find the feet of the intended receiver and throw it out of their feet.
It avoided the intentional grounding potential. Second down, St. Germain reading the defense here. Throw it in a great defensive play, swatted down beautifully by Ryan Crete, the linebacker, and some great defensive awareness there from Cumberland.
Just like I said earlier, you're throwing at first base. You can't throw floaters like that. And the windows are tight. And at this level, even though it's JV, players are getting faster. And I always remember talking to some quarterbacks who play at the CIS level, and they say, you know what the biggest difference, Coach, I found when I went from, say, JV to senior to university is to play with the linebackers when they expand the hook to curl. So the linebacker's job is to run support first and then expand to about 5 yards to where the hooks are going to be, right? And he goes, that's where the biggest adjustment is to me. So, and that's where you saw this linebacker did a great job.
Myers getting ready to punt it away, and a couple potential receivers back for Cumberland, and a nice take there on the snap from the punters. This one will get settled right around the 43-yard line, and then eating up a little bit of yardage there was Fiji Kusa. And Cumberland now with a chance with 3:49 remaining here in the opening half, a chance to extend their lead even further.
Yeah, and the one thing, Myers not helping himself here. They're really giving Cumberland great field position here. As a coach, as a coordinator, every time I saw the offense trot on to start a series and I see we're at midfield, there's a great feeling because you're 2 plays away from really getting field goal possession.
Mackie Holmes, one lone running back behind him. And we're gonna get a
timeout.
Timeout just prior to the snap. Just got that one in there, I guess.
Yeah, defense coordinator Carlo Trunzo saw something there he didn't like, and got the timeout there. And Myers either missing a player on offense or, yeah, I think they're missing one player, and that's what's happening right now. There he comes. Hey, that happens. You know, sometimes, you know, a player, you just can't find his helmet, can't find his face mask or his mouth guard, or they can't fall asleep in a football game.
There's definitely a few different things that could go wrong that could delay a player coming onto the field, but it looks like they've got it sorting out or getting it sorted out.
Yeah. I know it's probably driving the defense coordinator, Carlos Trunzo. Carlos Trunzo is probably going crazy right now, but hey, that happens. You know what I mean?
But hey, that can be a savvy play from the coaching staff, right? If that was the case, to call timeout, you see a formation that you don't like. Let's just slam on the brakes and reset. All right, Mackie Holmes on the jump snap, and a couple of little evasive moves there on the run, a quality run as he's eaten up yards. Dexter Dunlop, number 28 for the Panthers. It's right up to the 50-yard line of the Myers Riders.
Yeah, getting close to the 3-minute warning, and if you're Myers, hold the fort. It's 14-0. Try to stop Cumberland from getting more points, and if you're Cumberland, you got an opportunity here to go get more points and put some points on the board. You're inside Myers' 50-yard line, so we'll see what they do right here.
That's right. The difference between a 2 and a 3 score gap, basically just psychologically, is a huge difference maker. Holmes over the middle, catching a piece of it was Ashton Chartrand, just not enough to bring it in. For the multi-position player, Chartrand for the Panthers, and they'll reset here.
Yeah, little crossing route right here, a little drag route right through the box and the line of scrimmage, and just run right through Chartrand's hand. So the referee signaled in the 3-minute warning.
Three on the far side, 2 on the near side, 1 lone running back for Mackie Holmes. As he goes with play action, he's going to keep it himself, calls his own number, drives it out wide, looking to potentially use his arm, and a couple of side steps. Mackie Holmes, absolutely unreal from the Cumberland quarterback.
Yeah, you can't coach that stuff. That's all athlete. Anytime you get an athlete in space, now you can see, just wish he'd hold the ball a little bit closer to his body, though.
Just making guys miss.
Yeah.
That's pretty close to a Lamar Jackson-like sequence there from Mackie Holmes, I want to say.
Yeah, no, nice run there. And for Cumberland, with 2:26 left, opportunity to get some more points.
All right, first down here for Cumberland. 2:15 left in the half. Holmes takes the snap and coming with some momentum right up Main Street and right to the house. It's going to be a touchdown for the Panthers. And what a rush. Joshua Olubajo on the touchdown.
Yeah, They ran that play earlier. Remember I said they ran that counter, and you want the running back to get on the inside hip. Watch what the running back does right here. You got your pulling guard and tackle, and he goes right inside the hip of 88, and right to 88 out of the gate right there, and right to the end zone. You got to, on a counter play, I always tell the running back, get on the inside hip of the pulling tackle and get out there.
Came through like a Mack truck. There was absolutely no stopping him right there. You're right. He saw his space. He took what was given to him and absolutely took advantage for the touchdown. And it is a firm Cumberland lead at the moment, 21-0.
Yeah, no, Cumberland really runs that counter well. And what you tell on a counter, you tell your guard, you're kicking out and the tackle's kicking up. And, man, they ran that effectively. And now they got a 21-0 lead. It's going to be tough here for Myers.
Still technically within striking distance, certainly are the Riders, but that's how quickly it can happen. That was two relatively quick scores there from Cumberland to make it a 21-point lead. And they look to be certainly firmly in their driver's seat at this point.
Well, just look at the CFL last night where Winnipeg took that big lead. It was, and then Hamilton just like 3 turnovers. Next thing you know, it was 39-31. So anything can happen in a game of football.
That's right. So if you're thinking about jumping away from this broadcast, that wouldn't be the smart move because it can certainly turn on a dime. Stay with us here on the Rogers Sports exclusive OSFL football. Cumberland and Myers. Cumberland 1-0, Myers 0-1. And certainly first big rivalry game here of the summer. Picked off, Myers. Wilson time to put some points on the board here. They're going to want to drive up the field position. That one was returned by Anderson Alexander. Up to about the 41-yard line.
Got some good yardage on that one. And like I said, the objective of a kickoff return is to get 10 yards or more. And Alexander got about 15 yards on that return. And now Myers with 1:59 left on the board will have an opportunity to get productive on offense here. But they got to find that running game. As you can see, Cumberland, see what happens when you got a running game? It opens up the passing game. And for Myers, they got to find a way to run the football right now.
And maybe it potentially could be difficult to stick to those fundamentals when you're in such a big hole. All right, St. Germain. Trying to get the offense trucking here for Myers. Big completed pass, but immediately hit down. Is number 16, Justin Hoff.
See the importance of a zip throw? When you get that ball out quick, you give your receiver an opportunity to make a play, or you know you're going to get hit. But if you have to wait for that football, you're going to get your receiver smoked. And you see how that ball came out pretty nice and tight, and there was a lot of velocity in that throw. That was probably, believe it or not, I think that was one of his best throws of the day.
Yeah, just defensive back Michael Roman, Johnny on the spot. No room to work with, so second down coming up. He's got split backs, 2 on the wide side receivers, and this one, just too much on it, unfortunately, as Jordan Sprague had actually lost his coverage, but just inaccurate from St. Germain.
Yeah, I think he stumbled out of the snap right there, and that's why you had a bit of a wobbly throw. You can see right there, he just didn't get a lot of his feet underneath him. You saw the way he planted his feet. His feet were sideways instead of your load foot on the way back, and you're supposed to load up your base foot and get some velocity on it. I think what happened there is just the footing of his feet. That's why the ball was a bit wobbly to the outside, but still got a lot of mustard on that to get it to the numbers on the outside.
That's it, and if he would have been able to find Sprague, it would have been off to the races. Certainly, so a punt coming up here with $1:27 left in the opening half. Cumberland hanging on to the 21-0 lead.
Only one back for Cumberland here.
The lone one back there is Kyle Frey. Got a bunch of touches in this game. He's going to take it off the first bounce. Flag goes down and then wrapped up and taken down.
Really, if you're Myers, nothing you can do there. You know what I mean? Like that ball took like an Argo bounce, and really you can't do anything about that.
What was the penalty there for, Ron?
No yards. So the 5-yard addition. And like I said, for me as a coach, I'm okay with that. So the ball came down, and it took a bounce forward back to the line, and really there's nothing you can do right there if you're Myers.
It's kind of a bang-bang play.
Yeah.
And here comes the Cumberland offense once again. Holmes takes the snap. They're going to run it this time. And it's going to Kyle Frey, and he is still going up past midfield and into Myers territory, right in front of the Panthers sideline. Kyle Frey with a big-time gallop.
Yeah, if you're Myers, you just want to get the halftime here. You can see the defensive line getting a little bit tired. I don't know if that was another counter play. No, that was a trap or a pulling guard right there. So, yeah. Missed block. That's just fatigue from being on the field too long, right? You see Cumberland, they're on the field, they're driving. Myers defense constantly on the field, like even some of the players, their hands on their hips. As a coach, when I look at that, and I'm saying, you know, anytime you can see the players have their hands on the hips, that's a sign of fatigue, right? So if you're Myers, yeah, maybe was this injury timeout or no? I think Coach Cislano called the timeout or called Coach Trenzo. Just Myers.
Yeah, well, hopefully they can reduce a little bit of the lactic acid flowing throughout their bodies right now, but we didn't see that from Kyle Frey. When he gets those legs churning, he's a tough guy to contend with, and he bounced off a couple of tackles and extended the play even further right into the Myers side of the field. And lurking again are the Panthers.
Well, you know what? I really like that timeout there by Coach Trenzo, because you can't take those timeouts with you at halftime. You know what I mean? If you got them, use them. And I really like that timeout right there.
Got to look back to that blocked punt again that ended up going against Myers. That would have been a game-changing play in the first half. Here's Holmes shaking off a couple of tackles, throws it up, and immediately bouncing off one hit, through another. Flags are down. Up to the far sideline, inside the 10-yard line. Liam Sommer, the Canada Knights receiver, doing work for the Panthers.
Yeah, there's that Knight connection again. And, you know, you got to wrap up if you're Myers, right? This is not hockey. Body checks is, you know, you got to wrap up and bring your receiver to the ground. But good play there by Cumberland, but unfortunately there was a penalty on the play. And it's going to take some of that positive yardage back with 51.9 seconds left.
Coming back it is to the 37-yard line of the Myers Riders.
Some sort of penalty. They went way up and then they came
see
back.
what
There was a penalty involved there.
Mackie Holmes can muster up here.
10 yards from the foul, first down.
Okay.
We got 51 seconds left here in the first half.
Yeah, if you're Myers, bend don't break type attitude right here.
One in the backfield, three on the near side, two on the far side, and it's going again to the running back and weaving and winding his way through traffic again. Kyle Frey with a heck of an afternoon thus far for the running back.
Yeah, you know what? Cumberland's got a really nice balance of run to pass here. Again, another trap play here. It's actually a dart play when you bring in your tackle inside. And yeah, really good play call there by the offense coordinator, Eric Perrin of the Cumberland Panthers on that one right there. You know what I like what he's doing? He's got a mixture of good run to pass ratio, and that really keeps the other coordinator on his toes guessing. Like if you're the, put it this way, if you're the defense coordinator for Cumberland, you know it's 70-30 pass right now, right? Because the running game has not been established, so it's a little bit easier figuring out what they're going to do on offense. But when you got that balance of 50-50 run to pass, you as a coordinator, you're guessing.
And again, like Cumberland has set themselves up beautifully, of course, for play action, and that is just such a tough thing for defenses to read and react to. And Mackie Holmes doing a heck of a job here in the opening half for his Cumberland Panthers, looking to go to 2-0 on the campaign. Kyle Frey lining up right behind Holmes. And they go play action. Holmes is going to keep it himself. looking to follow his blockers, takes it out wide and runs it into Pater as the Cumberland Panthers score again and extend the lead. What a rush by the quarterback on the play action, Mackie Holmes.
Yeah, RPO, run pass option, and you're reading the defensive end. If the defensive end crashes, you pull, and Mackey's off to the races right there.
What a special talent he is.
Yeah, in today's game, the RPO plays a big role in a lot of offense, and when you got a quarterback who can run like that, that's just another threat that the defense has to worry about.
And if you look at some of today's professional quarterbacks, that's something that they have in their repertoire, is that ability, obviously, to throw the ball down the field and find your targets, but also utilize your legs as well.
Yeah, and like we said at the top of the show, to be a complete quarterback, that's just another tool in the toolbox that you got to have in your repertoire. And in Mackey's, you can see, he's a special player. And you know what, Ash St. Germain, I really like what I've seen with Ashton here today. So like we said at the top of the show, we got really two good quarterbacks here. The difference is it's the running game for Myers that has to get established, and because they've cleaned up a bit of the special teams on both sides.
How tough is it to try to establish that running game with a 28-0 deficit when you're trying to eat into that lead and you're probably going to lean heavily on the pass game? But should they probably go back to fundamentals, Ron?
Yeah, go back to fundamentals, and like Yogi Berra used to say, it's getting late early.
There you go.
It's getting late early, but you got to find a way to just. You have to get the run game going, no matter what, because two and outs just doesn't make it happen.
Well, they're going to get the ball back for at least 30 seconds of offense. It's going one way and back the other direction was Jordan Sprague, and then taken down right around the 31-yard line of Myers. We'll see if they can produce some points here with 28 clicks left on the clock.
And here's the thing, if the offense coordinator for Myers feels that the running game produced by the running back is not really helping, there's other ways to get the run game going, like with jet sweeps. Swing passes is considered like a outside run, right? So you got to find a way to get the running game, and it doesn't have to be just like with the running back.
Panthers defense obviously playing with a ton of confidence right now. They are a cohesive unit and holding Myers off the scoreboard as of now. First down from the 31-yard line, a handoff, and scampering up for about 4 yards.
Now, Panthers got one timeout left, so they might elect to use it here. Here, the next one. I think they might use it on the next one. Well, 22 seconds, they might use it now.
Evan Kerr on the rush.
Yeah, if you're Myers here, you just let that thing go to 2 seconds. Get out of Dodge.
Do you think you hand it off here and just keep it conservative, or maybe look to put something on the board in the skies?
No, you hand it off here and you just get to halftime.
So they let it run down to 1 second, and St. Germain will throw it, and a big lick at midfield as a crunch. They're shoulder to shoulder, it looked like from my vantage point. And they're laying the hit was Brendan Farhat. That's an exciting play to end the first half, Ron.
Yeah, you know what? Like I said, it's been, when you look at Myers, once they get that running game established, they could probably get a way to try to find their way to get into the game. If you're Cumberland, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, you got on offense, you're doing very well by running the ball, passing the ball. I would just keep it as it is.
So Cumberland leading Myers 28-0. We are at halftime. You're watching the Ottawa Summer Football League, a Rogers Sports exclusive. All right, welcome back to Millennium Park. Brett Bonesteel, Ron Raymond with you here from the booth, and it is all Cumberland Panthers here in the opening half. They lead this one 28-0. 8-0, and we're going to take a look through the first half highlights here, Ron.
Yeah, the first one, nice special teams there by number 7 for Cumberland, and that was Jet Rose who took that in. And then you saw Mackey right here sitting in the pocket, delivering a strike to Evan Moak and Dion Moak right there. And he just trotted in. And then that inside zone run right there on the counter by number 22. That's Joshua Alubajo with a beautiful run. And you know what? You got to give the Hoggies credit here. The offensive line here, we're seeing Mackie Holmes on an RPO, reading the defensive end, and really displaying his speed and athleticism by just going into the end zone.
Yeah, Mackie Holmes, you can see it just displayed there, Ron. He's a guy that has post-secondary football written all over him, and whatever program is eventually able to snag a Mackie Holmes is going to have quite the resource at their hands.
Yeah, and you can tell the players who train in the off-season. Like when I was the head coach of the Cumberland Panthers senior team and we had training camp, you can see the players who went to off-season training and the players who didn't. It's night and day. So any player listening out there wondering if it's worth to do off-season training, absolutely. If that is your aspirations of playing provincial football, you want to be bigger, stronger, faster, and off-season training does help.
Absolutely. In today's climate, with these athletes, you're going to get left in the dust pretty quickly if you don't keep up with the pace. So Myers to kick it off, Cumberland to receive to start the second half. And again, Cumberland up a healthy amount, 28-0 right now. But we've seen crazier comebacks in the sport of football, Ron, as we got an onside kick attempt here from Myers, and they're going to recover it. Wow.
Yep.
Great start for the Myers Riders. A little trickery to begin the second half, and it works out.
Great call by Coach Cislano right there. Just, you know what? Caught him by surprise.
That was a beautifully placed onside kick.
Sean Payton, remember the Super Bowl?
Right? There you go.
Not saying we're at that level, but same type of mindset, right? Good job by Myers Special Teams to call that. And you know what? Perfect time, perfect place, perfect execution here by the Riders.
All right, Myers with the football. And Ashton St. Germain, they get it started here at the second half. Solo wide out to the near side. Number 16, Jason Hoff out there and the running back. So he's going to go to Hoff, who wasn't ready for it. A little bit of a miscommunication there on first down. And that'll load up 2nd and 10.
I think what happened on that play, Brett, number 5, Fairhat, he was the linebacker, and he came through the B gap, and I think it kind of spooked the quarterback there to get that ball out quickly. But you see right there, they weren't expecting that, and I'm not sure what happened there on the execution.
So some pressure from the Panther defense causes the discombobulation, and we've got 2nd and 10. Split backs to the right and left of St. Germain, and he's going to hand it off. Looking to follow some blockers, and shaking off a couple of tackles there is Mateo Kotzik with a quality rush. And there's the run game, Ron, potentially establishing itself here as Myers has the momentum to start the second half.
Yeah, just what they needed, the basic lead. Just lead run right here and pick up the first down. But you know what? The great first start here for Myers. Here comes the blitz.
Little shovel pass. That one found Evan Kerr, I believe, and a nice tackle from behind. Coming in there was Jaden Yin with a clutch play for the Panthers defense, as nearly finding some daylight for Myers.
So what happened on that play is that the both linebackers for Cumberland, number 5 Farhat and the weak side linebacker, came in on the blitz, and if they would have just turned that corner, there was no more, it would have been daylight right there.
That was actually Colin Bernard, on the rush, number 24 in black, as St. Germain will pitch this one off and trying to escape the tackle. Did so, then a sidestep, but just too much personnel, a gray wall to contend with for the running back. Mateo Kotzik did all he could to make it happen, but just ran out of real estate.
Like I said earlier, these outside run, I'm not a big fan unless you throw in deception, because it's too easy of a read for the linebackers to pursue to the angle untouched. And yeah, if you're going to run an outside zone, you have to either have your inside receivers come in and crack block onto the linebackers, and then you got to leave a one-on-one with the outside cornerback.
All right, third down situation coming up here for Myers. Looking to potentially enter the red zone. St. Germain just shaking things up here prior to the snap, a little bit of motion. St. Germain takes the snap, looks near side to the skies, and just outside of his target, Felix Peltier would have scampered unabated into the end zone, but just outside of his fingertips.
Yeah, great throw by St. Germain right there, running the corner route. Was, I believe, was it 16 for Myers, who ran that corner route, Justin Huff. Yeah, and just at the end of his fingertips right there. But I like good series. Unfortunately, it doesn't result in points. But now what you're doing, you give Cumberland a longer field to go score.
That should add a little smidge of confidence to the offense for Myers. It was certainly a positive series. It didn't result in any points, but they're looking in a better direction. Here's Holmes with a beautiful pass, and he connects right in the numbers with Dion Moak for a big-time gain, and into Myers territory. Go the Panthers.
Yeah, nice flood concept here. You got your outside receiver running a go, and then you got that crosser coming in from the number, I believe the number 2 receiver to the crosser, and right perfectly in the hole right there. So good play call there by the offense coordinator for Myers.
Yeah, that was a picture-perfect play. I'm sure the coaching staff's going to fire that one up on video for some video sessions later on, as so you got some sort of timeout here.
Yeah, and anytime you run a flood concept like that, running play action off it is great, because you have to clear out your number 1 receiver, take the cornerback deep. Your number 2 receiver has to take his halfback on a 5 yards to the low. It's like a low-high concept, and then the middle is where you get that crosser come right in the middle, and that's where you're supposed to throw right into the pool, we say. And they executed perfectly.
Executed perfectly indeed, and I got to hand it to Mackie Holmes as well, who executed the throw. It's one thing to have your routes work out, but then your quarterback also has to make the throws, and Mackie Holmes has shown that he can do that here this afternoon. We got a first down. 51-yard line of Myers. See if the defense can hold the fort here. Play action. Rolling out goes Holmes, and he's going to throw it deep. It's a contested ball, and that one is complete in a crowd of bodies. How did that one get brought down? Jet Rose, yet again, amazing from Rose.
Yeah, that's your typical 50-50 ball right there. Nice play action. You roll out to your left. Still got to flip the hips. And then you threw a lot of coverage. And, you know, the person who wanted the most got the ball, and that's what Jet Rose.
That's it, Jet Rose with a tremendous afternoon. He's got the touchdown and a whole whack of receiving yards. Holmes, little screen pass, and he finds his man. Who else but Jet Rose for the touchdown, as Cumberland will add it on. And it is 34-0, barring the extra point.
Yeah, that's the offense coordinator saying, you know what, you didn't get it on the 50-50 ball, but we'll give it to you here on the spot pass. And Jet Rose came in and going counter to the flow of what was coming in, and then he just walked in.
That's a 2-touchdown afternoon for Mr. Rose. And thus far, Cumberland 4 for 4 with extra points. See if they can knock in their 5th. Looked offside there, potentially on the play, but that will be negated regardless, and it is 35-0 for Cumberland, I think.
Yeah, looks like it was offside on Myers, and they'll decline it or they'll put it on the kickoff. But hey, you know what? Good execution by Cumberland. You know, Mackie Holmes, what would really impressive is that he started on the right hash, and when you ever get a right-handed quarterback rolling out to his left and able to flip his hips, backpedal, and throw a 40-yard ball, even though it was a 50-50 ball, just the athleticism of Mackie Holmes to get that ball out there, and Jet Rose to really climb the ladder and go get that ball, that was really impressive.
Tracked it well. That Holmes Rose connection is getting some traction here.
Yeah, a lot of weapons on Cumberland. Like, you look at their run game, you know, they can run the ball, they could throw the ball. Mackey could. They got a lot of talent here in Cumberland.
And they are well set up to start their season 2-0, but we've still got some meat left on the bone here in this game. And for Myers, maybe the W isn't quite a possibility, but making it respectable is for sure, and just gaining that confidence maybe for the next game.
Oh, if I'm the head coach of the Myers Riders right now, I'm saying from this point on, it's 0-0. And that's the way you got to approach it. You say it's 0-0, let's go win the next, you know, and let's get to 14. You know, like, try to win the next play and just try to find small victories.
They've had a few small victories here, but then got bit by the penalty bug a couple of times. And they're going to be set to fire up the offense once again on the return there. Anderson Alexander for a short little trot.
29.
And St. Germain will come back out to manage the offense.
Yep, let's see what the offense can do right here. We saw their last possession. They were able to run the ball a bit, and that was a good sign. And we'll see what Ryan O'Reilly has in store for the Myers Riders offense here.
And you could potentially catch Cumberland sleeping a little bit on defense with the padded lead that they have, but obviously a prideful group as the Panther defense. Probably won't see them go to sleep much, and certainly not on that play, as that will go for a slight loss, and Gang tackled immediately off the rush.
Yeah, that was Lachlan McLean that got in there from Francosti, number 79 for the Cumberland Panthers. And yeah, really a lot of gray jerseys there, not a lot of room to run there for Myers.
Big body as well, Quinton Dorsonville as well, number 40 for the Cumberland Panthers on the defensive line as well, an imposing figure out there. And a new quarterback in for Myers, by the way, as we get a collision. It's going to draw a flag as well. Myers bench not impressed with that, is slow to get up off that hit. But it is Mason Jude, by the way, running the offense for now for Myers.
Yeah, looked like it was a slant play, and Farhat just went in there just a bit too aggressive.
Grab another look here.
And the good news is he sprung right up and went right to the bench, so that's always great to see. And that was...
Could be wrong, but it might be Justin Hoff. I don't want to misquote anything,
I believe you're right.
especially on an injury play.
So they did get unnecessary roughness on that play, so that's why the ball's been moved up 15 yards.
All right, so Myers with decent field position here to start their offensive drive. They're going to get it from their own 51-yard line on the brink of midfield. They try to get some points on the board here, down 35-0. As, again, Mason Jude, the quarterback now for Myers.
Note the referees are discussing something. They talked to the bench. If I'm not mistaken, I saw the referees. Oh, I think I think number 5 has been ejected from the game.
You know what? It could be a celebration related ejection, Ron, as after that big hit, Cumberland had a little bit of an extended celebration. Obviously, it's going to fire you up. I mean, it's it's hard not to celebrate, you know, a big hit out there. But when you get the head potentially involved.
But you know, here's another thing. It's a teaching point too, right? You got to look at the scoreboard, and you know, if you want to play at the next level, that won't be accepted, right? So it's a teaching point here for the coaching staff to grab a young player and say, you know what, play physical, but then once the whistle's done, you know, you got to play to the next play. They just, like you said, you limit your celebrations and look at the scoreboard. You're winning, and sometimes there's no place for that right now in a 35-0 game.
And that's it. It's the situation, right?
Yep.
35-0. Different scoreline would be much more accepted. But here we go. Myers back to the offense. And let's see if they can get anything done here as a run comes out near side. Little side step stutter. And then wrapped up in a sea of gray jerseys. And taken down was Mateo Kocik.
Yeah, you look at number 6, Oliver Raymond. He almost got in there and took the feet right under on a side swipe. That was a nice little play by Raymond right there. You'll see him come in right about here, and he misses the tackle right there. Would have been a beautiful tackle, but good balance by the Myers ball carrier right there.
Yeah, said Mateo Kocik a little bit off kilter, and that allowed the rest of the Panther defense to come in quickly and converge on the tackle. So here we go, second down. Jude's going to take the snap. He's got one running back available. He's going to pass it, and nowhere near a intended receiver, which is Felix Peltier.
Yeah,
that'll go incomplete.
Another thing, again, is just like we saw in the first quarter. Anytime you're going to throw those 10-yard hooks or 5-yard, I always say to the quarterbacks, you have to have the same velocity like you're throwing the first base. You can't float it out there. You got to get your load step down. You got to plant your feet and then step into that throw, because if you float it like that, it can go pick 6 the other way in a real hurry.
Here we go, third down. Mason Jude with 4 available on the far side. He's going to roll out to that direction, throw off target, and Felix Peltier got one mitt to it, but unable to corral it for the reception, and it'll be Cumberland football.
Yeah, you can see here Mason Jude rolling out to his right. I always say get to the 4-yard apex and then get downhill, right? You saw Mason just extend laterally, but you want to turn that corner, and you want to, I always say to the quarterbacks, point your belt buckle to your target, and then that way we know you're squaring up to your receiver.
Looks like we got a new quarterback in the game as well for Cumberland, set to take over as Ashton Chartron, as he's going to take this one from right under center. A couple of running backs available, and they will hand it off here to Agbor. Agbor ate up about 5 or 6 yards before he got wrapped up by a couple of Myers defenders, but a positive yardage gain for the Panthers.
Yeah, again, power run game, quarterback's under center, and that's what I mean when the quarterback's under center, the running back doesn't have to wait for the exchange. He can get downhill in a hurry, and I just love it when the quarterback. I know it's like more 80s, 90s football, or like you know, the wing tee or the wishbone offense, but you know what? I love it when I see quarterbacks get under center, and trust me, you know who loves it even more? Running backs.
That's it. They can take it with some pace.
Exactly.
As opposed to starting flat-footed. And this is going to be a quarterback sneak right up the middle. And still going. As that play lasted about 3 seconds longer than anybody in Millennium Park thought it was. And the Panthers moving it northward.
I'm always amazed on quarterback sneaks sometimes at any level, like say CIS or university or CFL, NFL. How a quarterback sneak sometimes can get lost, and then all of a sudden he just springs right out, and it's like a 50-yard run.
It's like they come out gangbusters, and you never predicted to come out of the pile for sure. Yeah. Here's first down for the Panthers. This one's handed off to Agbor, bouncing off one, and not much more after that. As he is wrapped up and taken down, that will produce second down. We've got 2:07 remaining here in quarter number 3, and the Cumberland Panthers with a healthy 35-0 advantage. It has been a display to behold here for the Panthers this afternoon.
Yeah, and we're getting pretty close to the mercy rule, where I believe it's close to 35 points, where once you get to a certain separation of scores, that the clock will just keep running. We saw it in the first game at the Bantams, and I think we're getting pretty close. Like if Cumberland punches it in here, I think we might see the clock just keep running.
All right, so first down from about the 20-yard line, and the sweep comes, and a big-time crunch. They're on the tackle, Noah Shirev, the linebacker, as he took down the runner, LaRosar, and that'll bring up second down.
Yeah, number 50, Fort Myers. It was Noah Shuri. They didn't. I don't think he appreciated that lunge into his chest like there, so he got up a little bit of a pride factor right there. But you know what? Yeah, the game of football is tough. It's a tough game, and I say it all the time. The next important play of football is the next play. You can see here a toss to the outside, and right there, led with his head just a bit. And then he got up, and I don't know what was the, maybe it was something else.
Just trying to sort something out here prior to the snap. Myers fans trying to get their guys engaged here. Alrighty, Ashton Chartrand set to take the snap. Chartrand to Agbor, and nowhere to go. 3 or 4 Myers Riders defenders in on the tackle to make it happen as Agbor loses his bucket.
Yeah, great play by 55 Jonathan Dominguez right there. Came right through. You can see just wrapped him up, brought him down. Great play there by Myers 55 Jonathan Dominguez.
And that's one you can fire away on the film midweek and say, hey, there's a positive play for the defense we can look forward to in our next matchup.
Exactly.
30 seconds left here in the third quarter. Time is running. Three out wide, 2 on the near side, 1 running back. Chartrand, lots of time in the pocket, able to find his man. It's Dion Moak, and he's gonna run it in for a Panther touchdown.
Yeah, he had all the time in the world. Great job by the offensive line. Anytime a quarterback has 5 Mississippis, you know he's the offensive line. Look at all the time he has. Sits there and delivered a strike to Moak, and Moak took it in, but to me, that play there, all offensive line. The O-line, they just held their water right there, and no one was able to get in. And if I'm Moak, I'm buying all of the ice cream to the offensive line right after that play tonight.
100%, and with any football team, and obviously you know this better than anybody, Ron, it's the offensive line. I don't think we've given enough praise to the offensive line today of the Cumberland Panthers, who have really made things easy for the offense, providing blocks when necessary, and obviously giving Chartrand and, of course, Mackie Holmes especially lots of time to operate.
Must have been a penalty of that play because they bringing it back.
And a throw to the end zone is knocked down, but a flag at the point of catch, if you will.
Yeah, so we did miss the penalty on that play. That's why they brought it back, and it was 3rd and 13 right there. So we apologize for missing that one. But you're right, the offensive line, we say it all the time in football. Show me your offensive line, I'll show you with your team. The attitude, your attitude of the team is always based on the offensive line. And we say it all the time. Show me your offensive line, I'll show you your team.
A talented one here for the Cumberland Panthers.
Offensive pass interference, 85.
Shouting out some of the offensive linemen: Logan Cohn, Sebastian Desjardins, Aiden Johnson, Max Grabovec, Jacob Lalonde, Mohamed Tantouche, Jacob Avon, Ethan Chassels, Tanner Rogers, and Max Vivier getting the work done on the offensive line for Cumberland.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they'll love that segment. anytime you can point out the Hoggies, they always love that.
Well, they don't get enough love
exactly.
on broadcasts, especially, of course, because they might not be flashy, but they're in the trenches and they're doing the hard work, and they're really the ones oftentimes that are posting up the W's on the board.
Well, they'll be called out on Rogers 22, that's for sure.
Sweet. All right, Myers from deep in their own territory to start things off. And they will throw one, a low throw, a little bit too low, as the intended target was Colin Bernard. That'll go incomplete.
Yeah,
Second down.
A little bit of a danger area right there. Anytime a seam route before 14 yards, you really gotta throttle run. And what I mean by throttle run, you can't run 100 miles an hour because you know the free safeties is going to cap the route. He's going to be on top of the route. Just think of a bottle like a Pepsi bottle, right? The cap of the top. You got to really skinny it off before you get to that free safety.
Second down and another throw, and this one incomplete as it hits the deck, and third down is coming up. That time the intended receiver was Anderson Alexander, but out of his reach.
See, the defense has been in your kitchen all year, right? The whole game, and that's a pressure throw. That's the defensive line, linebackers who's been in the pressure in the backfield all day, and the quarterbacks see that, and that's get a little bit of happy feet, and you're trying to get that ball out quickly, right? So, really, it's you got to sit there and wait it out, and then once the receiver turns around, then you throw a strike.
Fiji Kusa and Dexter Dunlop, the two available Panthers, back to receive this punt. And we'll go towards Dunlop, but eventually find its way onto the sideline.
Yeah, when it rains, it pours, right?
And the Panthers will start with tremendous field position. They're right in Myers' territory to start.
Yeah, and you can see the referees letting the clock run down right now, so we're in that time.
Sub 10 minutes remaining here in the game. It's still Ashton Chartron there leading the offense, and he's going to hand this one off to Olubaju. And Olubaju will scamper on up for about 2 or 3 yards before getting wrapped up and taken down. That will bring up second.
Yeah, just a simple inside zone run play, and the offensive line pushing, and a bunch of Myers there to take down the pack.
All right, so second down, 2 or 3 wide receivers near side. Running back will join them as well. A completed pass, finding some blockers, looking to escape a couple of tackles. Moving up there nicely was Nathan Curie of the Nepean Eagles, his home club, on the reception.
Yep, no, very nice execution there by the Cumberland Panthers. And Curry just taking that ball to the outside, and nice tackle right there, which leaves a second and manageable too.
And also a nice quality find there from Ashton Chartron. Put it right in between the 1 and the 0 on the jersey of Nathan Curie for the completion. We're backing up here a little bit.
Yep.
So I think we had a penalty.
As our good friend Sudsy would say at TD Place, mouchoir sur le terrain.
Translation?
Flag on the field.
There we go.
Yeah, I forgot. I thought I was doing Rogers 23 for a second there. That was this afternoon.
That's right. Multi-language.
Yeah, double duty.
Commentator here, Ron Raymond. He had some coaching duties after this as well on the after that incomplete pass on the far side.
Yeah, it's a triple action day here for the old ball coach.
Wow, full of football here on a Saturday.
Yeah, love it.
Where would you rather be?
Oh, yeah. And you know what? To all the volunteers out there who give their times today at Rogers, all the camera, the people in the truck, thank you on behalf of everybody who watches Rogers. You guys do it. And, yeah. And speaking of plugging the Capital QBs, if anybody's out there, wanting to learn about quarterback position, just go to capitalqbs.com.
All right, Chartrand takes the snap, saw some room, and he's going to eat up as much field as he can. And he's wrapped up, and maybe a late hit as a flag comes in after the play was finished. That could be unnecessary roughness.
Yeah, biggest challenge now for the coaching staff on both sides is to make sure let's get out of Dodge on, no penalties, no mix-ups. It's game number 2 of the season, right? Everybody's got a game next week, and you just want to finish this off with class and shake hands and send them home happy.
And maybe that might be a little bit more of a thing for the Myers Riders at this point, who are obviously quite frustrated, down 35-0. You don't want to let your emotions get the better of you, especially as you just said, Ron, early in the season. There's a lot of racetrack left here for both of these teams on the schedule.
Oh, with the Belmont Stakes today, that's a good segue right there, right?
There we go. That's it, and a fumbled snap. Chartrand's going to get hit as he was trying to get up from his knees. And he's going to appeal for a penalty as well. He's pointing to the head saying, I got smacked up there, ref. Take another look.
Yeah, you can see right there, he bobbled the snap, and you know what, just came in, and he tried to put on the brakes right there. It's kind of tough when you're coming in and just stop all of a sudden, right? And the whistle just blown, but...
linebacker Emmett Barr coming in there to make the hit.
Yep.
We got second down on the brink of the Myers end zone. Chartrand with one lone running back behind him. He's going to throw it. Nobody home. The intended receiver was Cole Telfer, the Canada Knights product, and just out of his grasp.
Yep, Jonathan Dominguez in there again with a bit of the pressure. Dominguez having a good fourth quarter right here. You can see it comes right through the A-gap and you know what, disturbed enough to get the ball out quicker for Chartrand, and it just disrupted enough.
And throw a little bit off the mark as we've got third down, and it looks like they're going to go for it here. Chartrand back to pass to the end zone. He's got a man, but he got all topsy turned around was Nathan Curie, unable to locate the football, and Myers will avoid Cumberland putting more points on the board, and they're going to get the football back with 5:40 of running time to go.
Yep, 5:40 running time, and allows, you know what, at this time of, like we said earlier, if a lot of these players go to practice all week, and in provincial football, the starters do get a lot of playing time, but this is, whenever you get a game like this, now's the time to put in your backups. They've been in practice all week, give them the opportunity to play, and trust me, you know who wants them in more than anybody? The starters, because they know they're all friends and they want them to play, right? So that's we'll see what's happening here.
That's it, and the brotherhood is certainly there, especially amongst the quarterback groups. Well, I mean, everybody on the team for sure, the brotherhood is there. And you got to hand it to the coaches for letting some of the guys on the depth chart get some rotations in. So deep in their own territory, start Myers. They're going to hand the football off and immediately swarmed. And a crowd of bodies, nowhere to go, and that'll bring up second down after a gain of maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, that's been the story of the afternoon, really, on the defensive front for the Cumberland Panthers. Defense coordinator Mike Hendricks done a great job with this unit this year, which he always does. Mike Hendricks, one of the best defense coordinators in the city, and you can see he got his troops ready to play here today.
Second down, split backs, 2 to the near side, and play action. He's going to call his own number, is Mason Jude, and a significant gain up the sideline right in front of the Panthers bench. And I think he got enough for the first there, Ron.
Close to it, yep. Good job by Mason Jude to get outside. And right there, what we call in the quarterback business is get out of bounds. It's called a good business decision.
Right.
You want to get out of bounds quick.
That's it.
But yeah, you're right. You did get a first down, which moves the chains.
Part of the quarterback position, certainly staying healthy. So if you can avoid getting licked, you're going to take those all day. Jude again to pass. This time the completion, but the defense for Cumberland right there as the catch was made, and a heck of a play.
You know what I loved about that play by Parker Glover for the DB for Cumberland? He had a free shot right there, and he chose to wrap up. And I really appreciate that, because it could have been an easy big hit right there. But you know what? A lot of respect for the way he brought him down right there.
And again, and situationally, should be commended for that with a 35-0 lead. And what we know today about head injuries, obviously you want to avoid those as much as possible. So good on him.
Yeah, the respect of the game, right?
Jude back to pass. Looked like it was a little bit off target, but it ended up being completed as a nice find from Cole Juneau, the wideout.
Yeah, no, nice, was that a 5-yard out? And you can see right there, Mason Jude looking to his right, delivered a strike. And you know, it might look easy when you're looking at home. That's a really, anytime you got receivers running horizontal routes, it's all timing issues. And to me, that's a beautiful pass by Mason Jude.
And that was a difficult catch to take in, especially as he knew that there were a couple of gray shirts closing in quickly. Jude with a nice little shovel pass, and then eating up yardage with a little bit of a hurdle. Coming along is Mateo Kodzik. A beautiful rush there from Myers with some positive yardage here towards the end of the ball game. And that's a nice play from Kodzik on the hurdle.
Yeah, veer triple option, a Georgia Tech type play like Army Navy. You know, those inside veer brought a tear to my eye, because I'm a big I just love these triple options. Like, I'm a big running offense square. Like, anything you can run, like triple option, the veer, you can run wing tee, wishbone, power run. Yeah, we say it in football, you throw to score, you run to win. And when you can throw the ball to score points, but when you can run the ball to really hammer down and really win it out, that's what you do.
Makes me think almost of those dynamic offenses. I'm a big Oregon Duck fan, so I think back to the Chip Kelly days and some of the offenses that they ran at Oregon, some of the creativity that they mustered up. We've seen it today in Cumberland.
And the main guy, Jeremiah Mazzoli, who's here in Ottawa, was with the Oregon Ducks.
There you go, absolutely.
You know, Vernon Adams was out in the, you know, the Oregon offense was geared for Canadian football with the wider field.
Yeah, there you
with
go.
the wider field, because a play like that, because the Canadian Football League is, the field is much longer and wider, that's the perfect type of offense to run. Oh.
Quick sip from one of our officials there. You got to stay hydrated, ladies and gentlemen. It is a hot one out there today.
Oh, that's the first one for me.
All right, off the snap, back to pass. Mason Jude, all sorts of time. He's looking up, contested ball, and coming down with it somehow was Anderson Alexander, and there's Myers to get some points on the scoreboard.
Yeah, unfortunately we do have somebody down right now.
Yeah, trainer's quick to come out.
Yeah, and he's holding his leg.
So all players will take a knee here out of respect. And that's not what you want to see.
Well, and number 21 for Cumberland is Jaden Yin, and he climbed the ladder pretty high. It's when he came down.
Yeah, potentially in a vulnerable position.
Yeah, like a hyperextension type. But we'll see. Hopefully he can pop up here. That's the one thing with coaches, when you see someone down, you hope they can just pop up.
Jaden Yin in a clear amount of discomfort. We've got more personnel coming onto the field to take a look.
Yep. And you know, the nice play by the Myers Riders there. to throw that ball, and it was, 2 defenders in that area, and 50-50 ball, and he came down with it. Basically, it was mostly 25-75 when you think of it, or 33%, 66% when you do the math. But and good, he was able to. The coach is a fireman carry to the sideline.
Fireman carry to the sideline, fist bump in the air as he comes. We're going to have another look here, Ron.
Yeah, so you can see Jude's in the pocket. Good protection, 7-man protection. Throws the football downfield, and you can see right there, there's 2 defenders. You can see Ian just came down on his leg, his right leg. But you got to give credit to number 14, I believe, was Myers. And that was Anders, who's had a pretty good game today. We said his name a few times here.
For sure. He's had a nice afternoon here for the Myers Riders. They've had some positive notes to go back to the drawing board and get ready for their next game. It hasn't been all bad. And now they're on the scoreboard. They tack on the extra point, so it's 35-7 with $1:12 remaining here in the 4th Q. That will be one to throw up on the highlight reel here for the OSFL this summer.
Yeah, I know that Myers is going to be playing Kingston next week. There'll be a home game for the Myers Riders.
So the Kingston Grenadiers being welcomed into town next weekend.
And I believe Cumberland, they'll be on the road if I'm not mistaken. So, a minute and 12 left to go. We'll see what Myers elects to do right here.
So next week, the junior team is going to be on Rogers 23. As Myers is going to kick this one off, and we've got a minute and 12 seconds left here in regulation time. 35-7.
Yeah, it looks like Cumberland will be playing Sunday at Vaughan.
There you go. It looks like Carleton University is the venue there.
Or sorry, home to Vaughan.
As that one gets put out of bounds, and we're at this point just running out the rest of the clock on this game.
Yeah, you know what? If you're new to the OSFL, there's 2 divisions. There's the East and the West, and normally in the East, Cumberland, Myers, pretty much every year with Scarborough. Scarborough, some of the top 3 teams in the conference in the East. And then when you get to the West is very strong in Southern Ontario. You got Essex, who's always good. London Mustangs, always a good program. Hamilton this year at the senior level is very good. You got Cambridge, Niagara. So very competitive league here in the provincial football.
All right, Mason Jude looking to make something happen here with time dwindling, under 45 seconds left, and Jude will throw it, but immediately engaged there. A nice play defensively from Dylan Miller, the defensive back.
Yeah, just going right back where he had that touchdown, but this was more of a direct throw, and good defensive play there by number 18 for Cumberland, and that was Dylan Miller who was in on the hit.
Second down coming up, 15 clicks left in the game. Mason Jude, one out to the far side, one near side, a couple in the slot area, and Jude will again throw it up and nearly intercepted. Parker Glover getting a partial hand to it. It ended up incomplete, and that will do it. The Cumberland Panthers get the victory. They move to 2-0 on the campaign, and the final, Cumberland 35, the Myers Riders 7.
Yeah, no, this game in the first half, the first quarter was really decided by special teams at the beginning, and then the running game of Cumberland took over, and by the end of the time, by the fourth quarter, it was just too late. The balance attack of Cumberland today was really the difference.
And there were a lot of different Panthers that firmly got their fingerprints solidified into this game. A lot of positives to take away as they start their season on a perfect 2-0 trajectory. Again, the final here from Millennium Park, Cumberland 35, the Myers Riders 7.
And they also forgot to mention the defense. Like, Cumberland's defense only allowed 7 points against today. And it was, you know, at the end of the game where a 50-50 ball. So, you know what? This Cumberland Panther team is going to be probably one of the teams to watch come August.
All right, well, thanks to everybody in the truck today for Rogers TV. For Ron Raymond, I'm Brett Bonesteel. Thanks for tuning in to the Ontario Summer Football League, a Rogers Sports exclusive.